Hey all, just sports with John. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Tim Duncan, who's going into the Hall of Fame. Um, and he is my favorite player out of this whole group. I loved what he was able to do with the Spurs. I think there's nobody better in Spurs history that has taken up the mantle of what the Spurs are all about. Um, he got to play with David Robinson and learn from him, and then he helped introduce Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker to the team as well. And they had to, they might arguably be one of the first real big three. I mean, in a way, the Bulls had a big three, but I think the Spurs were the first big three in terms of the three guys playing for the longest time together. And but going back to Duncan, I mean, a big man with such moves and grace in the post and just solid. I mean, if there's one word that identifies Duncan, it was solid, like night in, night out. He'd go in there, get you the same stuff all the time. And even when he wasn't as dominant, his passing and his spots on the floor, his rebounding, his defense, just kept the team going. And even if other people had to pick up scoring or whatever, like he always had an impact on the game, and as a big man, we don't get to see that as often anymore. I think in NBA, a little bit in the last 2 or 3 years with a couple guys, but that's not the point of this video. Duncan, I think, too, to me, is the best citizen of this class. Went about his business, always represented NBA well, and Spurs well, and all that, and you know, uh, international impact too. I mean, being, I think it was Puerto Rico, I want to say, where Duncan came from or whatever, and that pulled in a lot of people. So big impact. I'm glad to see Duncan's getting in. My favorite player.